Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Diaspora TV Switzerland. I'm Promise Graf coming to you with this month's news edition. But let's first take a look at the headlines. Parliament has approved the revision of occupational pension insurance, BVG LPP. UBS takes over Credit Suisse to prevent banking crisis. Potential rising of minimum language requirement of becoming a Swiss citizen in the canton of Zug. Swiss still see racism as an important social issue. The canton of Basel-Stadt is proceeding to take an active part in early German language support. Frauenlauf 2023 will raise breast cancer awareness in Switzerland. The new foundation for people with hearing impairments has been founded in Bern. The Conservative-dominated parliament has approved the revision of occupational pensions. But in order for this reform to stand a chance on referendum, all business associations need to stand behind it. Currently, that's not the case. The farmers are already opposing it, and shortly before the vote, the Employers Association from Romandy also announced its negative attitude. Numerous pension fund experts have also spoken out against the reform. And even the Swiss Pension Fund Association is now saying that it has more disadvantages than advantages. The reform aims to lower the conversion rate established by law. However, because this will reduce pensions, the reform provides for compensation. People who retire in the first 15 years after the reform comes into force will receive compensation on a maximum of 200 Swiss francs. However, not all of this transitional generation receive full compensation, but only a half those with lower pensions. And in order to improve the pensions of people with low wages and the pensions of women in the long term, the reform provides for various modifications to coordination deduction and the entry threshold. Some find the template to be too expensive. Others criticize the implementation as enormously complex. With this resistance from some citizens and important business associations, it will be extremely difficult to win a referendum. After a dramatic period of time, UBS and Credit Suisse agreed on a takeover. The negotiations took place between Credit Suisse, UBS, the Swiss government, central bank, and the financial regulator. UBS will buy Credit Suisse for 3 billion Swiss francs. The Swiss government has agreed to absorb up to 9 billion of potential UBS losses. The Swiss National Bank will ease the transaction by providing 100 billion Swiss francs in liquidity to UBS and Credit Suisse during the takeover. According to Swiss Finance Minister Karin Keller-Sutter, the collapse of Credit Suisse would have caused irreparable economic turmoil in Switzerland and around the world. The combined entity will be led by current UBS CEO Ralph Hamers and Chair Colm Keller. The collapse of Credit Suisse culminated when its clients withdrew billions of Swiss francs each day. Credit Suisse losses have accumulated in a 7.3 billion Swiss francs loss in 2022. Who becomes a Swiss citizen is decided by the municipality where the person lives, the canton and the federal government. However, cantons themselves set some requirements such as level of the language knowledge for becoming a Swiss citizen. Members of the Swiss People's Party, SVP, in the canton of Zug have decided that the current language requirements for naturalization in this canton are too low. They have put in motion an initiative to make them higher, raising them from B1 oral and A2 written level of language knowledge to B2 oral and B1 written. This can set up an example for other cantons to walk the same path, thus making naturalization more difficult. On the other hand, call for a reduce of the time requirement for becoming a Swiss citizen from 10 to 5 years on a national level may make the situation a little bit easier. Results of the Swiss Federal Statistical Office show that last year, 60% of people found racism to be an important societal theme. Around 9 million people live in Switzerland, consisting of over 190 nationalities. Almost 30% of Switzerland's inhabitants were born abroad. Same studies showed that 59% of interviewed find integration of migrants good. Unfortunately, almost 1/3 of people say they have been victims of discrimination and violence based on their background or appearance. The rate is 40% for people with a migrant background and 50% for the group of people between 15 and 24 years of age. Most of the interactions involving diversity take place at work. The Basel-Stadt Government Council suggested to the Grand Council an increase in up to 3 half-days of required German language learning in playgrounds during the year prior to kindergarten enrollment. Children who know little or no German are assisted by this program and are ready to enter kindergarten thanks to it. The Department of Education of Canton Basel-Stadt has looked into a number of strategies to improve early German language training. The mandatory duration will now be increased from 2 to 3 half-days. This modification can be applied soon, starting for the 2024-2025 academic year. It's anticipated to add about 1 million Swiss francs in annual costs. A marathon for women, a celebration for all. The Swiss Frauenlauf in Bern is the largest Swiss mass sports event for women with up to 14,000 participants and 30,000 spectators every year. The next Frauenlauf is planned for 11th June 2023 and registration is open now in the following categories: Girls Sprint 500 meters, Girls Mile 1.6 kilometers, Teens Mile 1.6 kilometers, Famigros Run and Win 1.6 kilometers, Marathon 5 kilometers, Marathon 10 kilometers, Run for Fun 5 or 10 kilometers, Visually Impaired, Easy Walk for All 3 kilometers, Walking for all levels. Interested persons can visit this link on the screen or scan the QR code. This year's Frauenlauf also aims to raise awareness for the early detection of breast cancer. In solidarity with early detection of breast cancer, the Easy Walk over 3 kilometers is for everyone. Neither age nor fitness level play a role. The only thing that counts is that you are there walking and that together we will raise awareness of this important topic. The Bernese Association for Aid to the Deaf has transferred the reins to the new foundation for people with hearing impairments in Bern. The foundation has a lot of plans. Its main goal is the inclusion of people with hearing impairments and their self-determined participation in social life. The members want to raise awareness among people in the canton of Bern for the needs of the deaf and people with impaired hearings. On 9th of March 2023, the new foundation celebrated its establishment in Bern. Diaspora TV Switzerland also attended the event and had a chance to talk to the representatives of the foundation board, in particular to its president, Daniel Heberli, and Dr. Tatiana Bingeli, president of the Swiss Federation of the Deaf, SGB FSS.
Unsere Nutzen sind dorthin zu suchen, wo wir das Zusammenleben zwischen Hörbehinderten, Gehörlosen und Hörenden optimieren. Wir sensibilisieren die Gesellschaft über die Probleme und Schwierigkeiten von Hörbehinderten und Gehörlosen.
Immer noch gibt es Menschen, Hörbehinderte, welche Konflikte erleben und keinen Zugang haben, Barrieren erleben. Wir kämpfen dafür, damit sie mehr Zugang erhalten. Deshalb, wenn sie Dienstleistungen erhalten, dann haben sie vermehrt Zugang. Unsere Kollektivmitglieder unterstützen uns dabei.
I thank you again for watching Diaspora TV Switzerland. I am Promise Graf and see you next time.